Welcome back to Tabletop Assault. I'm David.
I'm Ross.
And today we're bringing you a 1750 point battle report where we're going to finally get Eldar Craftworlds on the channel for a battle report, not narrative, but a battle report.
So David's going to be using Eldar, I will be using Necrons. So today we're going to play Big Guns Never Tire. How that works, we're going to put out 4 objective markers over the field. At the end of the game, each of those is worth 3 victory points. Now, if you are a heavy support and you are claiming it, even if there's more troops or whatever rule that might go ahead, no, the heavy supports will always priority take them. Equally, if you slay a heavy support choice, you get an additional victory point. Usual caveats of Slay Warlord, First Blood and Linebreaker all apply.
Let's show you the forces. This is my 1750 points of Eldar Craftworlds using the Simhan Craftworld trait today. I'm quite excited to get these guys out, no longer the narrative, but actually feature them on a battle report. So it's been a long wait, but they're finally here. So we're running a battalion detachment, giving me 8 command points to play with. Starting from the front, we've got my trusted Farseer Skyrunner with Singing Spear, Twin Shuriken Catapult, Shuriken Pistol. Remnant of Glory is going to be the Phoenix Gem, and his Warlord trait is Seer of the Shifting Vector, basically allowing me to sort of reroll wounds, hits, psychic tests, that sort of stuff once per battle. Backing him up will be his ever useful Warlock Skyrunner, which will have a Witchblade, Twin Shuriken Catapult and Shuriken Pistol. I should actually mention the Farseer's spells will be Doom and Guide, obviously with Smite, and the Warlock spells will be Protect, Jinx, obviously with Smite as well. My third HQ will be Maugan Ra. Quite interested to see how he performs today, so bringing him along for the ride. Troop choices, we've got a 10-man Ranger squad with their cloaks and long-range rifles, and 2 5-man Dire Avenger squads. Dire Avenger squads have Shuriken Catapults, Plasma Grenades and Power Glaives on my guys, which is obviously very interesting. We also then have, going into some more sort of fast attacks, 2 units of Wind Riders, all with scatter lasers, 2 6-man units. We then have 10 Warp Spiders. The Exarch has a Power Blades, and there is 11 Death Spinners, as the Exarch is allowed to take a second Death Spinner. We then also have into our heavy supports 5 Dark Reapers with 4 Reaper Launchers and 1 Eldari Missile Launcher. Then we have 2 units of Fire Dragons, each with 4 fusion guns, a Fire Pike on the Exarch, and all have Melta Bombs, and they will be kicking about in a Wave Serpent with Twin Brightlands, Shuriken Cannon, Crystal Targeting Matrix, and Spirit Stones. Let's see their opponent.
We now have here our 1750 points of Mephrit Dynasty. So I'm in a battalion detachment, so I've got 8 command points to use in this game. For my HQs, I have an Overlord with Artifacts of Aeon, Veil of Darkness, Warlord trait, Immortal Pride, Staff of Light and a Resurrection Orb. I also have a Cryptic with Staff of Light and a Chromatron. Yep. For my troops, I have 1 unit of 20 Necron Warriors Gauss Flares, another unit of 20 Necron Warriors Gauss Flares, and a unit of 5 Immortals with Tesla Carbines. For fast attacks, I have 4 Destroyers with 1 Heavy Destroyer. All the Destroyers are armed with Gauss Cannons, and the Heavy Destroyer has a Heavy Gauss Cannon. And for my heavy supports, I have a Monolith with Gauss Flare Arcs, 4 of, and a Particle Whip. And I also have an Annihilation Barge with Gauss Cannon and twin Tesla Destructors. That's my 1750 points of Necrons Mephrit Dynasty.
So welcome back to the battle report. This is the map we're using today, our Death Zone map with a lot of our scattered terrain, our ruins, good old fashioned set. We're playing Dawn of War for the deployment map, so that's obviously that edge to this edge. And for Big Guns Never Tire, guys, as you know, we're using our 4 objectives. So over here we have the Genestealer head and its little capsule, the good old favourite bomb, almost in the middle, the console up here in this ruin, and we have down here the antenna in this sort of ruin as well. So yeah guys, we're going to crack on with deployment. We'll catch up with you in a wee second and we'll showcase how we deployed.
First up we have the Necron deployment. So what have I brought so far? We have our Necron Warriors, big line of them, over onto this side, along with our Immortals in the front. Behind them we've got our Overlord and our Cryptic, basically so they can buff whichever unit they wish. I also have a unit of Destroyers with a Heavy Destroyer in the back there, my Annihilation Barge and my Wraiths over on this flank. I have kept the monolith in deep strike because I want to give it a try. We've got the new beta rules, so see if that's any good. And I've got a unit of Necron warriors on their tomb world, basically to deploy from the monolith as well. So with that, let's have a look at the Eldar.
So how have the Craftworlds deployed? Well, in this flank, we'll start over here. I have my Dire Avengers, Dark Reapers, Maugan Ra, Rangers. This is kind of the bulk of my army. I've kind of solidified on my left flank. 2 Windrider units with Scatter Lasers, Warlock and Farseer. More Dire Avengers, Wave Serpent with my 2 Fire Dragons, and I didn't decide to actually put into Deep Strike the Warp Spiders. Purely because, well, they might come on in turn 2, but if Ross gets first turn, I actually would like a bit more models just to kind of screen a little bit for that monolith drop. So, anyway, with that, that's our deployment, guys. Necrons and Eldar facing off. Let's see who gets first turn.
I would love first turn.
Okay, Ross, you roll.
No.
You get +1 to that because you finished deploying first.
I sure did.
So you get 3, I need a 4+. I don't, I get a 2, so I will need to seize on a 6. Which I don't. So it will be Necrons, turn 1.
We have our Mephrit Dynasty Necrons going first. Now, David does have the range in this game. While I've probably got sort of mid-ranged game, I can do quite well there. So I really need to close the gap on David quite quickly and be aggressive there. How am I going to do that? I do have some plans. We'll get going with them as well. David, do you want to say if you're going to use the new stratagem, which allows you to gain cover?
So I might as well use it as 2 command points. I'm down to 6. I fully anticipate most of Ross's stuff isn't going to do too much damage here, but it's only time you get to use a stratagem, so we'll just use it and it will give my whole army the benefit of cover. So just before we recap Ross's movement phase, and before the first turn began and first battle round, I used another stratagem called Phantasm to redeploy 3 of my units. So I redeployed Dire Avengers, and I hid away my Dark Reapers because they take no penalties for moving and shooting. The reason I did that is Ross has the ability to deep strike units using his, what's it called again, Ross?
Veil of Darkness.
Veil of Darkness. So I wanted to try and deter Ross from using that and closing the gap even further. But Ross, what did you then do to counter that?
Nothing.
Okay.
Because you countered me significantly. So yeah, before this I said to David, I'm going to absolutely annihilate you. I'm going to Veil of Darkness and destroy all your reinforced units. I also have an ability that ignores cover. I was going to rapid fire 4 shots at the Dark Reapers. Not to be. David has now an effective screen that prevents me from really getting into an effective line, and I can no longer get line of sight of the Dark Reapers. So that stopped my Veil of Darkness. I'm not committed to that. I'll still deal with some of the Dire Avengers with the Necron Warriors, just move them forwards. Destroyers move forward, Immortals move forward, Cryptek advanced so that he can basically give his buff to everyone nearby. Overlord stayed with the Necron Warriors and gave them my will be done because the plan was to annihilate Dark Reapers. Annihilation Barge has moved forward and the Wraiths have advanced, though only an inch. So the Mortals going to start up with their Tesline Carbines. Going to use them against this row of Dire Avengers here. Basically just trying to whittle down some shots. So 10 shots, hitting on 3 6s or 3 hits apiece.
3 6s already.
3 6 is not bad. Let me get some extra dice for that. So all in there, 13 hits, which is pretty good. Gonna need 3s to injure as I'm strength 5.
Phenomenal.
But again, pretty good. No AP on this, and you are in cover due to using, I think, prepared positions.
Yeah, so it'll be a 3-up save, but you got a lot of wins. There's only 5 of them in the squad.
Yeah.
And the squad is almost dead.
It's going to go with my Necron Warriors over here next. Now 4 of them are within range of the Exarch here, so I'm going to put my shots into him. Basically, if David didn't use that 2 command points, I would have had first blood.
Yeah, I know.
So devastated by that, but I will hopefully get him now. And then I've got 10 within range of this unit here, who will target them. So my will be done. So I do have 2 plus to hit. 4 shots into this Exarch, hitting on 2s. Okay. We have 3 hits. 3s to injure.
Yep, toughness 3.
For 2 wounds. -1 AP, we have +1 due to cover.
Yeah, so 4 up save then. Toast.
That'll be first blood.
Before you go streaming at us, no, an Exarch only has 2 wounds.
Only has...
I know. So he's down to 1 wound, so not first blood. And you've got 10 shots remaining on this unit.
Yeah, so 10 shots, 2 stat, due to my will be done. For
10 hits.
All hit. That is a phenomenal roll.
Ridiculous roll.
And it's going to be... Oh,
3s to wound.
3s to wound. Sorry, knocked him down. Still not bad, I'm pretty pleased with that.
So due to the prepared positions, it's 4 up saves here, even though you're -1. So I'll take out 3 Dire Avengers.
Going to open up with the Destroyers next, so they are just in range to target the 3 front guys in this
Windrider unit.
I'm going to use a couple stratagems, and also the heavy is going to actually target the Wave Serpent because I want it
good
down
call.
to vehicle. So I'm going to use Extermination Protocols, where basically that will allow the unit to reroll hits and wounds. And I'm going to use Solar Pulse, which will allow me to pick a unit, and with the weapons from that unit, ignore cover, which basically I'm going to ignore their cover.
So put Solar Pulse on that one for me, Ross.
Yep.
Just so we don't forget. And then obviously your Executioner Volley.
Extermination
Protocols. Okay, there you go. What I will be doing, however, though, is I'm going to be countering that. I'll use 2 more command points for lightning fast reflexes. Do this when a unit is targeted. If it's infantry or has the fly keyword, which they do, you're -1 to hit them.
Okay, so that'll mean I'll be forced to hit, reroll all misses, but I believe I don't get the 3s. So
You're
it'll
right.
be 4s, reroll 1s and 2s. And I'm going to do the 12 shots from the Destroyers first. So don't roll 3s. So 3s I can't reroll. But still a phenomenal...
Yeah, the 2 command points I've spent, it looks like they're wasted.
And those will still be misses as well.
So what, 9 hits?
9 hits. It will be 3s to injure.
Yep, toughness 4 bikes.
But I do get to reroll these as well due to Extermination. So good. Yep, so that many.
No save.
No save.
Because my cover is... Oh no! My cover puts... You ignore the cover, so 4, yeah, -3, so no save. So go for it, D3 damage apiece.
Oh yeah, so
there's 2
there are
wind
2
bikes.
wins. So first one is dead.
Yep.
Second one, gone. How many is in the unit?
6. You've got to do this in case you're only 1s and 2s. And then regardless, they are wiped.
They're
so
gone.
bikes are wiped, first blood.
And the Heavy Gauss cannon next onto the Wave Serpent. So 3s to hit you, reroll all misses because I'm still under Extermination Protocols. So we hit. It's going to be 3s to injure and reroll wounds.
Toughness 7.
So I get to reroll that thanks to Extermination Protocols. But I mess it up. Gonna use the Annihilation Barge next. Now I'm not in range of the other bikes, which is like by an inch, you know, so I can't target them. So I was going to go for the Warp Spiders, but David advised me against that because he'll just hide for days. So thanks for advising me on that one, David. I forgot Warp Spiders are ludicrously hard to
They'll
catch.
just flicker, jump out of the way and go no. Anyway.
So I'm going to go with the Wave Serpent instead. Kind of tricky because it's now got a 2-up save, but we'll do our best. So start the Gauss Cannon, which will be forced to hit because it's heavy 3. So 1 hit, wounding on 5s, for 1 wound, -3 AP.
So put me to a 5-up save then. Failed, D3 damage.
For
1. My shield doesn't reduce it any further, so I take a wound.
Okay, and I'll do the Tizza, I think it's the Twin Tizza Destructor.
Go for it.
8 shots, hitting on 3s, but any 6s will be 3 hits apiece. Well, not good, but
You get a 6.
do get a 6. It's going to be forced to injure.
Toughness, strength 7 in this, yeah?
Yep. So 2 wounds.
2-up saves. 1 more wound. So I'm down to, I think it's 13 wounds in it, I think I'm down to 11. Either way, it takes 2 wounds in total. Into morale, I've got 2 tests. This Dire Avenger will die in a 5+ as 4 of his comrades died. Yep, so he is gone. And then over here, I can't lose this unit, but I'll lose another Dire Avenger on a 6+. Which I do.
So that's the end of Mephrit Dynasty Necrons, and it was actually not a bad turn. We managed to eliminate 1 unit of Dire Avengers and 1 of the bikes. I hate Eldar bikes, so I'm glad 1 of them is gone. did prevent me from doing my strategy, but now that his screen has almost folded, you can bet that next turn might be a bit more adventurous on that side. I've currently got 1 point due to First Blood. Let's go on to the Eldar, turn 1.
Right, Craftworlds Battle Round 1, or Turn 1, didn't go well for us there. We've already lost 6 bikes, which is a lot of firepower, already lost a ton of Dire Avengers. So yeah, my turn, my battle plan is very simple. Kill the destroyers, get into better position, because next turn Ross is going to have some devastating drops coming my way. Let's crack on. Right, so moving phase, Exarch's kicking about by himself. Rangers staying on top because they've got a nice fire position. So Dark Reapers have moved on out but staying in cover. Maugan Ra advanced all the way over, 11 inches, so he just wants to kind of get away from this dangerous flank. Seems to be folding. Wave Serpent's moved on up, just again trying to area denial for the drops that are ensuing. Plus he's quite a tough cookie to crack. Warlock, Farseer, bikes have all kind of moved into stronger positions. But more importantly, I rolled a 4d6 for my Wave Serpents, Warp Spiders. I got a maximum movement of, well not maximum, but including my movement, I got 26 inches worth of movement. It was incredible, and no ones were rolled, no double ones were rolled. I didn't use it, I just literally moved them around here for more area denial and keeping them all in cover. They're going to try and pick off some wounds off the wraiths. We've got a very important psychic phase to come next. Warlock is going to kick off the psychic phase by using Jinx. So the spell, which is Protect Jinx, I'm going to use the Jinx version of the spell, which is -1 to this unit's saving throws.
Okay.
7 to cast. Let's see if we get it. We do.
You do. I am out of range for Mortal Pride to allow me a deny. So yeah, -1 to the save for the wraiths.
Farseer is now going to go next, and he's going to use Doom. We're going to put that onto your destroyers. Now Doom basically is reroll all field wounds against the destroyers.
Okay.
7 to cast, and I've got a ton of wee things here to try and make sure this goes off. Well, we've got a 6 there. Now I'm going to pause here because I've got a few things where I can reroll it. So I'll use his runes of the Farseer to reroll any number of dice, and I get to do that once per psychic phase. So I'll keep the 5. We're looking for a 2+ on this dice here.
Okay.
We don't get it.
Ooh.
And I can't re-roll that because it's already a reroll, so no Doom, that's huge. I'm now going to go with Guide, and I'm going to go Guide on to, we're going to do it onto the bikes, essentially giving them reroll all field hits.
Okay.
Which we do get. So we get Guide off. Before we move on to the shooting phase, I actually forgot to do the Spirit Stones on them. Ross has been very kind enough to let me roll, so I need 6+ to put a win back on. We don't. Cool. 10 Warp Spiders with 11 Death Spinners in total, because the champion or Exarch has 2 straight into these wraiths that are jinxed. So it means they're 4 up in
okay.
22 shots, hitting on 3s. We'll be right back. Alright, so I think we've got what, 12 hits or something like that? So 3s to wound, as these are strength 6.
Ooh.
And that's everyone bar 1.
Oh, jeez, oh.
So it's a lot of wins now. These are jinx saves, so that means your save goes to 4 up invul.
Yep.
All the 6s that I win there are negated essentially because you're invul.
Would they have been like -3 AP?
-4 AP.
What? Wow. So yeah, 4 up save.
It's looking amazing. You lose 1 wraith and 1 is down a wound. That is, look at that save. That is amazing. Rangers are going to shoot 10 long range rifles into your cryptek. See if I can kill him. Removes the 5 up invul bubble.
And also my reanimation.
Well, you'll get it, you just won't get as good yet.
Yeah.
10 shots, hitting on 3s. It's looking really good so far. So we get 8 hits.
Okay.
Now it will be 4s to wound as your toughness 4, not 5.
But
any 6s is a mortal wound in addition to the damage.
Okay.
So if I roll 4 6s, he's dead.
Don't roll 6s.
I've rolled 1. And you've got 3 saves plus the addition for that.
Yeah, so 4 saves.
4 saves.
I've only got a 4 up save though.
4 up save, yeah.
So I've got to make.
You need to make all 4 because if you fail 3, he's dead. You've already lost a wound.
I've lost 1 wound, so I'm down to 3. So now I can fail 2 of these.
So you can fail 2, yeah.
No. So he's down to 2 wounds.
Next up, we're going to go with the Dark Reapers, and they're going to put all their shots into Ross's destroyers. So that will be 4 Reaper launchers, and we're obviously using the Starshot missile version, which is strength 8 minus 2 damage 3. And the Exarch will use the Starshot missile from his Eldari missile launcher, which is strength 8 minus 2 d6 damage apiece. They will get reroll hits of 1 due to Maugan Ra. The Exarch already reroll hits of 1 anyway, but yeah. Let's crack on. So we'll do it with the 4 Reaper missile launchers first of all. Hitting on 3s, reroll 1s. Reroll that 1. I should mention there's no penalties for moving and shooting with Dark Reapers.
They just always hit on 3s?
Yeah, always hit on 3s. So 4 hits. It will be 3s to wound. For 3 wounds. I'm very tempted to command point this, but it means I'll use up pretty much my ability to do stratagems. I'm actually going to command point it.
Yeah, I would.
Yep,
Nice.
so we get 4 of them through.
Cool. So at the moment, I'm not in cover because I'm actually split between ruins and barricades, so that doesn't count. But I am within 3 inches of my cryptic, giving me a 5-up invul save. I really need to make like 2 of these, would be really nice. Make 1, so that's going to be 3 gone. 3 gone, do I want to command point 1? I will command point 1, just to try and survive. Nah, so that'll be 3 gone.
And then the Exarch with his Starshot missile from the Eldari missile launcher, hitting on 3s, reroll 1s. So we hit. Wounding on 3s. It's a wound. It's again your 5-up invul.
5-up invul from the cryptic.
Failed.
Nope.
It's only d6 damage this one. So I need
Only.
a 3. I need a 3 plus to kill 1. Yep, so another destroyer will go down, leaving you with 1. My Wave Serpent is going to go next. He's going to target everything into the destroyer. Remember, he has the vectored engine, so he ignores the effects of, or I think it's the crystallized targeting matrix. So if all my shots target the same unit, I ignore the effects of heavy.
Nice.
So we'll go the 2 Bright Lances first. 3s to hit. For 2 hits.
Oof.
3s to wound, because it's strength 8. For 1 wound.
Okay, you can't.
I can't use it, yeah, you're totally right.
So I'll be my 5-up invul.
Yeah, -4.
I need to survive this. I failed it.
And you've used your reroll?
I have.
3 plus, he's dead.
Don't die on me.
He's dead.
Oh no!
That's a key moment for Eldar. These bikes are now freed up to shoot at targets now that Ross's destroyers are gone. So they're guided, so they reroll all hits with their scatter lasers, so 24 shots, going straight into your race over there, Ross.
Okay, okay.
And they are jinx, so -1 to your save. So,
Nice.
24 shots, hitting on 3s. It's looking pretty decent. So we'll come back in a moment. So after all rerolls, we get 22 hits.
Okay, okay.
3s to wound, strength 6 against your toughness 5, sorry. And that again is looking very, very good. Okay, so that's what I think it's about 17 wounds I've caused there.
Okay.
And you've got 5 left in the unit. Now you are jinxed, so you're going to a 4-up save rather than a 3-up.
Yeah. I see there's one cocked. But I think I'm gone.
Only just though.
I'm definitely gone.
Yeah, so you suffered 7 wounds, the race are toast. And last to shoot will be Maugan Ra. And Maugan Ra is going to be chopping away at the bit with his the Modutor. Now I get to shoot this gun twice. I'm going to just choose the same unit though, which will be your destroyers, Ross.
Yep.
Not destroyers, Immortals. Now I can use Shrieker or Shuriken rounds. Shrieker basically is 2 shots because I'll be shooting the gun twice. Strength 6 -1, 1 damage. But if I kill a model, then the unit suffers D3 wounds. I'm not confident, so I'm going to go with the Assault 4 version, which means I shoot it twice at 8 shots. So 2s to hit, reroll 1s. Okay, they all hit. And it'll be 3s to wound as I'm strength 6. So they all wound.
Oh wow.
So that's 8 wins, -1, so 4-up saves with the Immortals.
Yeah, so I will not be in cover because they're not all within the rune. So yeah, 4-up saves. If they're not...
That was a 3, sorry.
That was a 3.
So 3, 4, 1 remains. And we just actually took a look at this, guys. I want to explain this. The Wave Serpent's going to down his Serpent Shield. It says once per battle, so it doesn't actually say when he's declaring his shots. It's not a shooting attack. I'm going to put down the shield, put it into the Immortal. On a 2+, it suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Yep. And you don't even need to roll the mortal wounds.
One anyway, so the Immortals are gone. Yeah, so he's dead. That's the end of Craftworlds turn 1, and if Ross shows you, we took some damage by losing the bites and a lot of dire Avengers, but we managed to actually dish it in return. We got rid of all the Wraiths, all the Destroyers and all the Immortals. There is still a Monolith and 20 Warriors still to come in, which you're more than likely going to see now, which can dish out a lot of damage. But as long as I can protect my key units, we will get through this. Let's move on to Necrons, turn 2.
So we're on to Mephrit Necrons turn 2, and I don't think David's quite saying how devastating that was. Losing all the Destroyers is a pain. They were probably my heavy hitters of this army, and the Wraiths were a bit of denial as well. Really, really tricky on that part. I'm really now sort of down to, the Annihilation Barge is not the best, so it's down to Monolith and Warriors. I do have a bit of board control in terms of I can get points. Basically, I might need to hold on to them till the end of the game. Either way, I'm going to drop in the Monolith and see what it can do. Okay, so what have I done? Monolith has dropped down, and our Necron Warriors inside the Tomb World have deployed basically these 20 guys here. Other 20 guys have moved forward along with the Overlord, who's behind them, and the Cryptic has moved as well. He advanced to allow sort of a bubble of the 5-up invul to the Warriors, so that's pretty nice. Get the Annihilation Barge still, because then it gets a bit more accurate with Gauss Cannon. And that's kind of it. I don't have much left. So with that, let's go into shooting phase. And just before I forget, my will be done onto the Necron Warriors, up in the back. This is going to start us up. So we're going to start with the Particle Whip. It's going to go onto the Wave Serpent, and the Gauss Flux Arcs are going to go onto the Rangers.
Cool.
So Particle Whip is heavy 6, start with that. Don't suffer the effects of heavy, so it's going to be 6 shots, hitting on 3s. So, very good.
6 hits.
6 hits. Now we're going to be wounding you on 3s. I'm strength 8, you're toughness 7.
Sure thing.
For not as good,
No.
only 3 wounds.
So minus
2.
2, so 5-up save in the Wave Serpent. So I've ignored it all.
Gauss Flux Arc next, straight onto the Rangers, see if I can pick a few of them off. So 12 shots, hitting, because there's 4 of them, hitting on 3s. Got one cocked there, but it's actually looking really bad.
Oh no,
Oh,
that's really bad.
Dear.
Yep. 50%.
Nope, it sure isn't.
3s to wound me.
3s to wound you. This will be amazing though. No, it won't. Only 3 wounds, minus 2. You do get cover.
Yeah, I'm going to just check my save for them. Just before I take these saving throws, we did forget to mention Ross is actually -1 to hit my Rangers due to their cloaks. But we went and checked, there was no 3s rolled anyway. All your fails are 1s and 2s, and all your passes were 4+, so they're all still fine. However, I do get +2 to my cover when I'm in cover due to the cloak, so I'm a 5-up to a 3-up, but you're -2, so back to a 5-up save here. So lose 3 Rangers.
Annihilation Barge next, gonna target everything into the Wave Serpent. Basically, if I don't deal with those fire dragons, I know they're hiding in there, the Monolith doesn't stand a chance. So I need to bring them out. Gauss Cannon, here we go. 3 shots, hitting on 3s because I didn't move. So, 1 miss. It's going to be 5s to wound you, I believe.
Yeah, toughness 7.
So we get 1 wound.
This is the Gauss Cannon.
It is indeed.
So that would be -3 to my save, so I'm now at a 6-up. Which I fail, so D3 damage, Ross.
D3 damage, have 3 wounds, or just 1.
Which I'll ignore in a 6 due to Spirit Stones. Nope, so I'm down to 10 wounds.
And the Twin Tesla Destructor next, on to the Wave Serpent. I'm not within half range, so I do not get Mephrit. It's going to be 8 shots, hitting on 3s, with any 6s being 3 shots apiece. So, all but 1, but essentially that 6 becomes an extra shot.
So 9 hits in total, or 10 hits?
9 hits in total, 10 hits in total.
10 in total.
I think so.
Either way, it's what hits.
Yep, but it's 4 swinge. 4, no, only 2.
2, okay.
2, no AP.
3 ups. Pass them both.
So we're going to go with this Necron Warrior next. The unit in the back, that is my will be done. Onto the Wave Serpent. I need to bring it down, there is no question about this. So 3 of them within rapid fire range and Mephrit range, so they get +1 to their AP. The other 17 are just going to be normal. 6 shots, hit on 2s. Yep.
This is the Mephrit code rapid firing ones.
Mephrit, and it's looking nice. Now if I can get that again, I'll be quite happy, because it will be 5 swinge. For 2 wounds, -2 AP.
Okay, so 5 ups. Passed 1. I don't know why I rerolled that.
I don't know why you rerolled that.
I thought I had a reroll there, but anyway, that was my Spirit Stone, that's why I was rerolling.
Sure.
So 1 wound down to 9.
Okay, and then I've got 17 shots, hit on 2s. Yep.
Looking really good, Ross.
Well, 3 1s on that, I wasn't hoping for that. But it's going to be 5 swinge. That's not looking good.
No, it's not looking good.
3 wounds.
3 wounds, these aren't Mephrit coded, so just -1, 4 ups. Failed all 3 of them. Spirit Stones for 6s. Failed all 3. So 9 down to 6 wounds.
And now the Necron Warrior squad that have came out of the Eternity Gates on the Monolith, going to basically target the Wave Serpent and need to deal with it. 4 are within rapid fire Mephrit range, so I'll deal with him first. 8 shots, hitting on 3s. 3 misses. Gonna be 5 swinge.
Yep.
For 2 wounds.
At -2.
Indeed.
Failed them both, so Spirit Stones, ignored none. So down to 4 wounds so far. And then you've got, what, 16 more to come?
Yep, 16 more from the normal guys, so they'll go next. Hitting on 3s.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's, wow.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Still a chance. 5s to wound.
That's debatable. So here comes all wound 5s.
No.
None. 1.
So -1 because these aren't coded.
Yep.
So 4 up, passed.
End of the Mephrit Necron Dynasty turn 2. It was quite frankly awful. Can't move that Wave Serpent. Basically, we may have the Necron Warriors now in full force, but David's range were basically going to deny me. I needed to kill that Wave Serpent, needed to deal with the Fire Dragons. Now they're going to basically do a bit of damage. Let's go into Eldar, turn 2.
Craftworld Eldar, turn 2, and we escaped through there with 0 casualties. What it also means is my Fire Dragons can now pop out. They will most likely be sacrificial lambs because the return fire they get will be dangerous, but they're now open to try and take pop shots at Ross's Monolith. Let's crack on, guys, and see what damage we can do. End of the movement phase. This Exarch still kicking about. Rangers over here still kicking about. But more importantly, I've disembarked both of my fire dragons. They're all in melter range of Ross's Monolith. Then my warp spiders rolled a mighty 21 inches for their movement, and their warp jump rolled no double ones, so no models died. They've jumped on up to start picking away at you warrior units because they get a lot of shots. Warlock's in range to do some spells. Well, Maugan Ra's in range to shoot wherever he wants. Dark Reapers, we all know their target, and the bikes are still in range to just shoot for days. Now, my Wave Serpent is pretty much in a precarious position, but also kind of useless at shooting really at this point, so I thought I'll just drop him back on the objective, and him and the Annihilation Barge can kind of duel that one out. End of the movement, Exarch, Rangers stay where they are. More importantly, Fire Dragons have dropped on out to start melting this big scary monolith. Warp Spiders rolled a mighty, including their move characteristics, 21 inches for their jump, and they didn't actually roll any double ones, so no Warp Spiders died or get sucked into the webway. Wave Serpent, I'm kind of conceding out the game, so he's going to just drop back and shoot and sit on an objective. Both characters have moved on up so they can start casting spells, but also out of range of Ross's Warlord. Maugan Ra is still kicking about with his Dark Reaper buddies. and the bikes are back here still in range to shoot away at some troops. Into the psychic phase, we're going to start with Protect Jinx from the Warlock onto this unit of warriors here. I'm going to use Jinx, which will be -1 to all their saving throws. Can we get it? We peril, and I do get it. I'm probably willing to take the mortal wounds at this stage.
Sure. How many wounds have you got?
I think I've got 4, I'll double check. So I've only got 3 wounds, not 4. I'm going to command point it. I can't fail the test unless I peril again, really. Yep. But my last command point's getting used. It goes off. So I needed a 7, I've got an 8. That unit is jinxed. Farseer time is going to cast Doom on the monolith. We want to get reroll wounds against that guy. So, 7 to cast. We don't get it. Now, interesting, I can reroll the test due to my shifting series of the vector, Warlord trait, or I can reroll any number of dice. I just need a 4+. I'm going to just reroll that dice. So we'll use the runes of the Farseer. We don't get it, we only get a 6 and it's a 7 to cast. We'll just move on then. I'm now going to use Guide from him onto this unit of Fire Dragons. See if we can get them reroll all hits. We do get it. So we get Guide on the Fire Dragons. Just so you know guys, the Warlord for Ross was an inch away, so we couldn't, 25 inches away, so we couldn't actually deny any of those. Just in case you are wondering. Rangers are going to put 7 long range rifles into Ross's cryptic. I forgot to mention he regained a win last turn, so he's up to 3. But let's see if we can finish what we started. 7 shots, hitting on 3s. We get 2 fails. It'll be 4s to wound. Any 6s is a mortal wound in addition to the damage. Give me tons of 6s. Well, I get none and I only get a wound, so he ain't dying.
Yeah, so 4 up save.
Nailed it.
Worth it.
So the Fire Dragons here, the guided ones, are going to put all their shots into this monolith. So that's 4 fusion guns and 1 fire pike. They'll be hitting on 3s, reroll all failed hits. But I do want to let you know I get to reroll all failed wounds of 1 against vehicles and monsters.
Ooh, okay.
So we will be 3s to hit with the fusion guns first. Reroll all failed hits. So they all hit. We'll come to the fire pike in a moment. And then we will be 4s to wound because you're strength 8 and your toughness 8, but I reroll wound rolls of 1.
Due to?
You being a vehicle.
Oh right, is that assured destruction?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Well,
oh,
okay, we rolled a 2, so that's fine. I'm out of command points, but that's 3 through. Now, you're -4, so no saves.
No.
So it's straight through and I'm in melter range, so roll 2 d6, pick the highest. So the first one, you've lost 6 wounds.
Uh-huh.
Next one, you've lost 12 wounds.
Uh-huh.
And the next one, you've lost 14 wounds so far.
Oh my word.
Let's go on with the Exarch's Fire Pike. Fire Pike is basically the same gun but longer range. So 3s to hit, reroll 1s, reroll all field hits. So he hits. He wins on a 4, reroll 1s. He wins, and it's melter range. So that's 20 wounds. I think he's dead.
That's him gone.
Does he explode?
I hope not. That would be quite perilous for me.
Of
course he does. Just for fun, let's do it. So with that Necron monolith explosion, I really do have so many vehicles that explode. I could have re-rolled that, but this is all too hilarious. Everything within it suffers D6 mortal wounds. Fire Dragons, the Necron Warriors, my Cryptic and my Overlord. I believe I roll all the mortal wounds.
Yeah, you're dishing the damage.
So to myself and to David, I'm not going to re-roll any of these, it's just going to be damage, damage, damage. These are
Fire Dragons.
Fire Dragons, D6 mortal wounds, please die.
So they're down to just the Exarch.
Okay, next one.
Yep.
5, I believe the Exarch.
They are wiped.
Does the Exarch have 2 wounds?
Oh, he does. Yeah, so
he's down to a wound.
Yep.
My first Necron Warrior squad. 2 of them die. The ones in the back. 6 of them die. And the Cryptic on a 3+, he's dead. Cryptic's dead. On a 5+, my Overlord's dead.
Oh!
Wow.
You want a command point in that one?
Nah, David. Let's let it be. Just to say to those who are screaming, Ross, just re-roll that, save that Overlord. I did a hypothetical roll Oh boy, I rolled a 6 again. Even if I had command pointed it, the Overlord would have still been slain. Oh man.
Fire pike into the warriors, why not?
Yep.
He hits.
Cool.
He will be killing on 2s.
Yep.
And a reroll 1s. No, because you're in a
No.
monster vehicle.
So-
But to be honest, they've done their job.
Yes.
10 warp spiders with 11 death spinners. That's 22 shots going straight into this jinxed 18-man warrior squad left.
Yep.
Hit on 3s. Let's go for it. It's okay. It's not looking great, but it's enough. I'm strength 6, so I will wound on 3s. But any wound roll of a 6 is -4,
So
which
they're
will
straight death.
straight death. So 3s, 6s are straight dead. So 1 automatically dies, and you've then got quite a few. Then got what, 6, 7, 8?
So that's 5 up saves.
Because you're jinxed, -1.
Yeah, it's 5 up saves. 5 up saves. Made a few. That was cocked. Yeah, so only lost 3.
Yep, so 3 plus the one that's dead, 4 in total. 24 scatter laser shots over onto Ross's warriors that are jinxed. So 3s to hit, 3s to wound. 24 shots. It's not looking good.
Yeah, that was not impressive.
So the fire dragons are phenomenal. Everyone else is not joining the party. That was a fail, guys. And then 3s to wound for your jinx saves. That's
That was
better.
more like it.
Okay.
See, if you had 6s to minus on my AP, that would have been...
Yeah. 5, 10. 10 wounds.
10
and
5
5
ups.
up jinx saves.
10 5 ups.
You saved 3, so you lose 7 more guys. Maugan Ra is going to use the Megageter, whatever it's called, using the 8-shot version because, well, I shoot twice, so assault 4 times 2, 8 shots into your 7 remaining warriors in that squad.
Okay, okay.
2s to hit, reroll 1s. Okay, so 8 hits. And then it'll be 3s to win as it's strength 6 and it's -1. Oh, I'll be worried because that's 8 wounds.
Oh man, so
No.
I'm jinxed and you're -1 AP, meaning
6
6 up saves. I need to make at least 2 of these to have 1 stay alive, and even morale I can't pass. I made loads, 3, but that is still
5 dead.
5 dead.
Dark Reapers are going to go next. They're going to put all their shots into Ross's Annihilation Barge over there.
Okay.
So we'll start off with the 4 Reaper launchers. Now reroll 1s due to Mr. Maugan Ra. So 3s to hit. Reroll that 1. So they all hit. It'll be 3s to wound because you're only toughness 6, I believe.
I am indeed.
Well, we only get 2 wounds.
Okay.
So
Minus...
-2 to your save.
So 6 up
I
saves.
believe you're 6 up, yeah.
Both failed.
So it's 6 damage so far, but if you roll any 1s and 2s for your quantum shielding, you'll ignore the damage.
So yeah, I ignore one of them, so it's only 3 wins.
So I've got another guy though. So far you're down to 5 wounds. The Exarch himself will shoot his missile launcher. He gets to reroll 1s. So he hits. 3s to wound. It's a wound. We're obviously using the Starshot version.
What does
It's
that do?
-2, so 6 up save. Starshot version for his missile launcher is D6 damage.
Failed it.
So it's D6 wounds.
Uh-huh.
For 6 wounds now, but that does mean you just have to roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Yep, so 5 or under, don't roll a 6. Yeah, I've ignored it.
So all wounds are ignored. Wave Serpent, I was debating shooting all my shots at this guy, but you know what? I'm actually not scared of him anymore. All the shots, twin bright lances, and also the shuriken cannon into your 2 warriors, which are remaining in that unit tucked around there.
Yep.
Now, due to my efficiency, I'm now hitting on 4s naturally, and I did move, so the bright lances aren't targeting their closest enemy unit, so they now will also be an additional -1 to hit for
Okay.
heavy. So we'll go with the shuriken cannon first, hitting on 4s.
Huh.
Oh well. Bright lances hitting on 5s. Oh well. Sure.
So we're on to morale phase. Yep, so these Necron warriors, the 2 guys, they obviously can't pass, but I'll just spend 2 command points so that they automatically pass, so they're sticking about. These guys did lose 6, so let's see if they lose more. They do not.
I've got some morale as well to do, Ross.
Oh yeah, on your fire dragons?
Yep, so my fire dragons, let's just get their leadership up very quickly. So a fire dragon.
It's fire dragon Exarch that you've got. There they are.
So their leadership 8 guys. So I've lost 4 in both units, so only 5 plus they're dead. So the first one, he's alive. Second one, he's dead. So that's the end of Craftworlds turn 2. Score now is 2 apiece. So I've killed 1 heavy support and slay the Warlord. Ross has killed 1 heavy support and first blood. So it is 2 apiece. I do currently hold 1 objective, but Ross?
Yeah, on that note, I am going to just concede. There is a note I could, I'm down to the Annihilation Barge, which not been doing much, and the Necron Warriors, which could clear out the lines in front of me, but I think just with your firepower as is, and I have to get good reanimations, is just going to be too much for me, and I've got poor mobility. Nah, David, I'm not going to take another 3 rounds of shooting. The game is yours.
Let's let you know our thoughts.
Well, that was some battle report, David. That was
short and sweet.
Yeah. So it was interesting the first round, where a lot of things to learn in terms of Eldar. I was obviously going to try off a big trick with redeploying my Necrons there, but using Phantasm to I think it's called Phantasm.
It is, yeah.
To redeploy to basically, you knew you were not going to get first turn, so you're allowed to redeploy your screens and then redeploy your Dark Reapers to make them not targetable. But equally, you don't suffer the effects of heavy, you always hit in 3s. You could have just I know. So I think now you probably learn to just screen them so they can't be seen no matter what in future ones. That's what I would always do with Dark Reapers.
Yeah, no, I'm still learning my feet with Eldar. I played them a lot in the narrative battle report, but a lot of those games were guided by the scenarios. Standard battle reports, yeah, finding my feet with them, but yeah, definitely.
It was also the first time we were using beta rules, and so did we do prepare positions for that one? Did you?
We did prepare positions, which was a stratagem, so that was giving us cover. Didn't really have an impact.
Not so much.
Not in this game.
And certainly I then had to deep strike turn 2 with Monolith. I think that was a horrendous mistake. Even with the short movement on the Monolith, I should have just moved up and got a wee bit of firepower and then kept my 20 Necron Warriors.
The Monolith.
You never managed to even move the Necron Warriors till the end.
The Monolith is such a tough unit to make it work. It's got such great firepower, such survivability, unless fire dragons are looking at it. Such great survivability, but it's hard to tactically make it work on the battlefield. Due to tactical reserves, meaning it can't come into turn 2 now, but secondly, it's such a points cost if it comes in and doesn't dish out enough damage, which I don't feel it really does for its points.
Well, at minus 2 AP, it's kind of difficult on that one.
It's got heavy guns and it's got lots of DACA, but no, I feel it should be stronger.
The other thing to mention Deep Strike as well is because it has a huge base, that is easy to deny it as well. You then go in turn 2 and you're like, cool, I'm going to control the middle of the field.
I think I took up nearly a third of the board.
Yeah.
In a corner, yeah.
And essentially just sort of forced me that I had to deploy there. So I think there may be some more addresses that have to be made in terms of Deep Strike. Yeah. Because your opponent, if you keep a lot in reserve, if your opponent then just spreads over the field, it means you're just going to be deploying back in your side either way or completely dictated by your opponent.
A couple of other things I would say is used a few new units. Used Warp Spiders for the first time properly.
Sure.
And didn't do too much damage, but was thoroughly impressed with the harassment of them.
Yes.
The fact I wrote, after my warp jump rolls, I was getting 26 inches for my first turn movement, 21 inches for the next turn, so they can really move around. Okay, they've got a 12-inch gun, but they'll probably shoot further than tactical marines just from the warp jump alone. And their guns are strength 6, 2 shots apiece, -4 for wind rolls of a 6. Very good unit for harassments, decent for their points. And lastly, fire dragons. Now I was actually saying to Russ before we went into this game, I was actually wishing I took Wraithguard with D cannons, because I thought, you know what, that might be better when I'm dealing with a Monolith. Fire dragons having the natural reroll wounds of 1. That is what it gets. And if you can get them deployed to their target, the likelihood is they're gonna kill it.
As long as you can get them there, boy, do they. If you get them out of range, do they hurt. I think also having you deployed outside the Wave Serpent, having a natural movement of 7 means you potentially moving like 10 inches. I mean, that's
with your 12-inch guns.
With 12-inch guns, so 16 inches of melta from the vehicle is scary.
Guys, hope you enjoyed that. Also, for you Elder players, that's them finally landed on battle reports. So comment, share, like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. And we hope to see you soon in another Tabletop Assault Battle Report.